Kuphi nakuphi emakhaya amadolobheni aseComplexity khona lapho kubukela khona SABC 1 sesifikile ke thina nelihlelo Yilungelo Lakho it's your right silethela ke lapha mahamba phambili SABC 1 Mzansi for sure uyasithola futhi bukhoma ku SABC Plus mina ke bekunene ngingisimphiwe Ncongwane namhla ke sibuka indzaba lematima yethi uma uthenga indlu cash ngaphandle kwesikwenedi bese utitfola ukuthi awusenayo leyo ndlu awuna title deed sowulahlekelwe na imali yakho singagcisi futhi ke isikhathi asingene shika endzabeni ethu namhla kunemthengi ke lapha eJozi ufisa ngathi indzaba yakhe ngabe iliphupho wathi tfola ke angasakwadi nekulala ngemva kokuthi alahlekelwe nge400,000 emarandi emva kokuthi athenge indlu yakhe cash ngaphandle kwesikwenedi bese uthola ukuthi ke yonke info latifake kuyo ingumgunyathi akuna title deed nemali ayisatfolakali Papa Machangana Dube usilethela ke indzaba yalona wekunene wala eJozi.
I've been running this business for a long time. It's only him, it's a bad luck to him.
Ethetha nathi ngonomyayi elolizwi lelomthengisi izindlu odumileyo eVereeniging nekumazantsi eGauteng. Uthi umthengisi lo uSifiso Shabangu nguye lo unelishwa kuba yena kudala ethengisa izindlu engazange adibane nale kwelinye icala lo kaShabangu nongumhlali waseGauteng uqwele eyokugqibela ethenga indlu eseVereeniging ngamawaka angamakhulu amane erandi 400,000
Masisimanje fanele simove Hawu mangithi mina ngiyobheka leyo ndawo leyo okhupha umunye umuntu futhi lo muntu loyo futhi uthi uyithekele lo ndawo azange sisaya kule ndlu leyo manje bese ngiyibonile wangiletha kwenye indlu ke manje engingayazi manje mangifika kule ndlu engayazi uthi ukuthi hayi mangithi ngiyibheka le mali leyo ayingathi ayisahambelana nale indlu ngazathi yona iyadura kunale imali seyincane
Nangona kuthweko kaShabangu makazinze kwelikhaya lakhe litsha uvuswe maqandeni lundwendwe oluthela mndwendwela
lendle yami bangena kanjani abanye abantu bazoviolate indlu kanti kweyami ngabona lapho ukuthi hayi lana ngiphephanga nanini ungafika umuntu angikhiphe
Umnqango wokuba akuzange kube khona amagqwetha abandakanyekayo kulentengiselwano ngalendlu
lana azange kube khona iloya ngoba wathi yena uyiloya futhi self
I'm what they call administrator.
Bakufanele ukuthi angibusele imali sengitshela ukuthi no kumele mina ngihlale la kule ndawo for 3 months again ukuze azokwazi ukuthi manje athengise futhi le ndawo komunye umuntu
okaShabangu akayedwa kokukubethakala uThayini namavunde kwilokishi yaseThokoza naye ulahlekelwe yimali xa ebezama ukuthenga indlu kude kube namhlanje akazange abeka mcondo kulondlu uthi nemali eyahlawula londlu yavele yaduka
indlu yoba iyenza 695,000 indlu ithengwe icash ngemali ka trust yo road accident fund yomntwana ngayithenga ngo2021 so finally yakhona i-payment yakhona yecibelwa nge-17 or 19 zaka October so labantu babafanele baphume ngopheleni kwe-October yakhona bafanele baphume singene
sebevalelisile nakubamelwane besiyokuqala ubomi obutsha endlwini ethibona kanti umnxeba oza kungena uthethenye into
makufika kusasa sengipakile ngenzi yonke into ngemilitary ukuthi thwala izinto ubaba wa-agent wangifonela wathi kwamanje sine problem isikhiya ngeke usithole kwamanje kusasa ne problem
lo ngxaki ke lukruthakrutshwano kusapho oluthengisa indlu
iviki laphela maliphela iviki usesiwabuya kimi wathi ngicela indlu ngithenge imuva
uthi ubuyisele imali emuva mase kwenze njani
ngoba indlu yindlu efamily asiyayisaba yakhe indlu efamily
uyilinde wayincama ke lo mali yendlu ebiza kubuyiselwa emva linenekazi elo elimthengisele indlu Uthi xa elibuza lamxelela ukuba liyibuyisele emva kwi-trust.
Ngamcela ngathi ngicela i-proof yokuthi wena ubhadalile le mali, i-proof yakhona angiyitholi. So nalaba yasebhenki kwamanje mangibafonela baya-avoida nabo angibatholi ngibhadale i-52,000 kuloyara uthi iloyara ingisize ngithole indlu leya noma lo muntu abhadale imali ngikwazi ukuthenga enye indlu.
Asikwazanga kudibana nenenekazi elo elithengisele uThini indlu kodwa lisithumele ivoice note ngoWhatsApp nalapho liphefumlele nje.
Unfortunately, by the time we tried to cancel the transaction, it was too late and the matter had registered at the magistrate's court. So the proceeds from the sale, I sent them to an attorney's trust account for safekeeping until the process is reversed.
Umninimzi usixelele ukuba usaquqeza ibhankini ukuboleka imali ze ahlawule imali kaThini. Phapha Machanga na Dube, Yilungelo Lakho.
Sibonga ngalombiko ke wamakhumalo ke lo shayicisa ligogo empeleni. Manje ukhuluma ngabantu ngalendzaba sesimukele ke Thato Ramaili lobuya ke Property Practitioners Regulatory Authority siphinde sibe na Bangiso Mhlabeni longummeli. Very good afternoon to you two. Thank you so much for joining us enemukele ehlelweni.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Siyabonga. You know, buying a home, ngasho ukuthi it's the biggest achievement for anybody. And buying a home cash, even better, one would assume, ngoba phela akunama headache, akunama hassles, there's just no, up and down when it comes to buying cash. Kepha ke lo munye umuntu angathi khanza ke sekaphethwe inhloko ngalendzaba le. First of all, angicale ngawe ngethatha ukuthi ke uyiphawula uyithini lenzaba. What's your comment?
Sure. First of all, that kind of money is a lot of money. 695,000 in the second instance and 400,000, that's a lot of money. And I think that due diligence should have been done from the buyer's perspective instead of operating with trust.
Yeah.
But I can also understand where the buyers are coming from. You're excited, but you should also check to ensure that you are dealing with somebody who is a legitimate property practitioner in the sector.
Yeah. And we'll get to that in a moment. Ukuthi ke simbona kanjani ukuthi umuntu legitimate or not. But Mhlabeni, what's your response?
I think iphutha elezwe ngapha thengi boyithu. Naba nxa uzothenga indlu fanele qala uyozijonga lendlu uinspect uyibone ukuthi nansi lendlu endithengayo and then kube kho isivumelano nomuntu othenga kuye into nje offer to purchase ndivumelana ukuthi ndithanga ngoba ungaphila ukuthi uyibone ngamehlo lendlu ungene ngaphakathi kwayo uyenze inspection ukuthi ine room ezingaphi ine ceiling ine kitchen into le uyithengayo so and then once uyibonile and then once usign i-offer umenze i-offer ungakulinga uqhutsa imali zonke iphathi zingakasayidi kungabe kho amagqwetha akhethwayo as i-conveyancers and before ukhuphe imali fanele ukuze conveyancers uyosayina qala ubone i-office zabo ngeziphi usayina ungathi nje umuntu athi nansi indlu yakuthengisela uyithenga ingathi uthenga sonke evenkileni indlu it's a long process and yonke into fanele ibhalwe phansi isivumelwano sabantu ukuthi bathenga nokuthi basayine bonke kube khona amagqwetha azibonele as no office zabo zikuphi lemagqwetha lawo and then xa qhubusayina angakalinge akhuphe imali ayinikeze either umuntu athenga ku indlu or i-agent angafane ayibhatale emagqwetheni kwi-trust account amagqwetha ngoba amagqwetha anayo into ebizwa i-fidelity fund and then bakwazi ukuthi if imali ilahlekile kune-fidelity fund cover enobanceda ukuthi bafumane back lo mali leyo.
Yes. So what could have possibly gone wrong kule insert? Yini ke loku wrong lokwendeka laphana?
I-problem endibona apho i-lack of consumer education kubantu abamnyama. Siyancama siyathanda ukuba nekhaya ngonemali ufuna uthenga ikhaya and ufuna uba le nto yenzakala namhlanje and abantu abathengisayo kanti abazizitsuthi ezikeleni bazokuphishela ukuthi bhatala ngoku ungabhatali ngoku ukhona umuntu oyifunayo once umuntu ebonisa lo desperation ukuthi ufuna imali ngoku uyazi ukuthi sisigebengu itsuthi le once enxabe ukuthi afumane imali esandleni ungakulinga umnikeza imali so ufanele abantu bafunde eqala before athenge indlu akadibane nosisa apha kwi-real estate bake bamfundisa ukuthi into nafanele ayazi ngothenga indlu of adibane namagqwetha afana nathi asebenzana nezindlu athi ndifuna uthenga indlu kukho umuntu othengisa indlu sicela jongisise kakuhle ukuthi nalo muntu lona akathi ndiqhathasa akho utsotsi bukhoyo nijonge nalamaphepha nisincedise nisi-advise ukuthi le transaction yalo muntu lona ngeyokonyani or ndiyaqhathwa apha fanele bafune i-advice qala ngoba i-400 is a lot of money imali
it's a lot of money hey imali
and most of abantu abethu abamnyama ufumane that opportunity kanye empilweni ukuthatha ngendlu njengoba lo mama ufumana imali from i-road accident fund ngoba kulimele umntana so akazi ufumana nye futhi i-opportunity or ilike ukuthi akwazi ufumana imali engaka athenga indlu so that once of opportunity make sure ukuthi before ukhupha imali uyofumana i-advice emagqwetheni i-conveyancers and nxa kosho nge-conveyancers buza around ungangxami ukhupha imali yakho
right Simvile ke ukhuluma ngekuthi ke it's a lack of consumer education and I suppose this is where the SABC comes in. This is where we provide the platform ukuthi ke sifundise abantu ngamalungelo abo and any other consumer aspect. So yini kumsebenzi we-PPRA? What's the mandate ye PPRA?
Our mandate is to transform the industry, but also to protect the interest of the public, which are the other buyers in this instance, and then also to regulate the sector to ensure that such instances don't occur. And just to add on what he was saying, another way is obviously we have to educate the sector. So in a case of, if you want to see whether somebody is a legitimate conveyancer, you can go to the LPC, which is the Legal Practice Council, as he may know. And then in our case, if you want to ensure that you are dealing with a valid FFC holder of an agent or property practitioner, you need to also check with the PPRA, which is where we are.
Okay.
Yes.
What are some of the possible breaches that could have occurred in that transaction?
Sure. For me, one of the things what I heard is that the transaction took long, right? So any cash transaction must take anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks. But in this case, she had already put an offer to purchase in 2019, and already 2 years later, nothing has happened. So that is a red flag that she should have, watched out for.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, sishiye lapho ke sitawuphinda siqhubeke nenkulumo yethu. Sibambe lapho ke mbukeli sizeshile ngasetitolo. Do join us after this break. Leli Yilungelo Lakho. Don't go away. Welcome back everybody. Sanemukela futhi ke bekunene tincingo tethu so tivuliwe ukuthi nawe ngaba ingcenye yendzaba yethu namhla ungasishayela icingo khona manje ku 011 714 0669 noma ke 011 714 0670. You can also email your thoughts to consumer@sabc.co.za. Ungasithinza futhi na ku Facebook noma ke ku Twitter. Namhla ke sikhuluma ke ngekuthenga ke ema properties noma ke umuti cash ngaphandle kwesikweneti. Kuthi ke it may seem on paper ukuthi vele nje is the easiest thing to do, kepha ke kunetinqabekelwano, kunetinkinga takhona futhi ke what could possibly go wrong. Namhla ke sidzinga leyo ndzaba leyo baba Mhlabeni. Before we get to the gist of this conversation, asasichaze kabanti ukuthi ke yini umsebenzi wemeli noma ke i-conveyancer ekuthengeni ke umhlaba noma ke tindlu.
Yes. I think kunomehluko between ummeli like an attorney and a conveyancer.
Yeah.
Everybody on a LLB or pass a board exam uba ngummeli, so it becomes an attorney. But for you to be a conveyancer, finally futhi ubhale another exam. Ebizwa i-conveyancing exam. And then once we pass it, you must also be admitted to High Court as a conveyancer.
As a conveyancer, okay.
Yes. And as a conveyancer, your obligations are huge. Zidlula as a normal attorney. Because your obligations now needs. Fanele udile ngeendaba zemali zabantu, izindlu zabantu. And fanele uyazi wonke imithetho, whether ngumthetho we-Child Act, personal law, like or marital law, international law, company law, trust law, closed corporation. Fanele uyazi zonke ukuthi nxa kuthenga umuntu kusebenza uphi umthetho. Nxa kuthenga icompany kusebenza uphi umthetho. I-situation nje nxa umuntu is a cash deal. Fanele uyazi ukuthi isebenza njani. Ngoba lo mali le fanele iye kwi-trust account yommeli. And then nxa ihlele kwi-trust account asiye yakho njengegqwetha. Ngiye-client ngiyalo muntu othengayo. Uyayibeka, uyayigcina in trust. Ngoba uyakuthemba, ukuthembile so uyayigcina ngoba uthembe wena. So fanele wenze njengegqwetha ujongisise yonke into ukuthi into ezi-right zihamba ngomthetho, akho muntu olimaza omnye obrothatha omnye kulensebenzisano ngoba although uzawukhetha umuntu othengisayo indlu ubhatala kulo muntu othengayo indlu i-costs so fanele ube ne-balance view sibiza i-balance view uprotecte zonke i-interests zale transaction ukuthi wonke umuntu othengayo uvuyile ngoba kwi-convencer sithi ukuthi i-transaction is a happy transaction ndifuna uthenga indlu ndivule nemali ufuna uthengisa indlu yakho so siyavumelana wonke umuntu happy ndizaba nendlu uzaba nemali so wonke umuntu it's a win-win situation so xa uli-convencer funa enze sure ukuthi the protector of the interests ukuthi abagqiba uthenga indlu wonke umuntu happy nxa i-transaction iphelile so i-attorney nje ayitrainwanga kwi-conversing ngoba akayibhalanga i-exam ye-conversing so akanozazi zonke into efanele azenze so uzorepresenta one client against the other whereas wena njenge-convencer uba representa boyi-two ngoba omnye ukupay i-power of attorney ukuthi uregistere i-change of ownership kulomnye yabona so kulothengayo so both interests are important so fanele uzisecure njenge-convencer wenza sure ukuthi wonke umuntu uvuyile nxa ugqiba wenza umsebenzi
iyavakala Mhlabeni lomunye umuntu ke angatitshela ukuthi for purposes of cutting costs ufuna ke ubypassa ke umeli khona angatobhadala the lawyer fees angakhona nikwenda lokho aye directly to the deeds office
no
angeka khona so vele umeli uyadzingeka i-conveyancer that is
in terms of the Deeds Registries Act ithi umuntu othengisa indlu fanele anikeze i-conveyancer i-power of attorney aye e-deeds office ayopasa i-change of ownership ibe ngi-conveyancer e-registra that change of ownership so in the past bukwazi uziyela njengomuntu umnikazi we-property once nivumelene nekushintsha imali uthi okay I'm executing the transfer i-property kulo muntu omnye lo kodwa because of problems ezike zaba khona and then kufuneka i-conveyancer ngoba i-controller ngi-legal practice council and the fidelity fund ezakwazi ureplace imali should into zingahambi kakuhle so if it's a seller and a buyer bangaqhathana mose uyathatha imali angakutshintshela or so that's why kufuneka i-conveyancer in terms of the act
okay now Thato ngibona kanjani ke ukuthi ke i-property agent lengidila nayo ukuthi ke ingithengisele noma ke ingithengele umuntu noma ke likhaya ukuthi is legit futhi ngibona kanjani ukuthi ke i-conveyancer le ngidila nayo is legit do I check with you the PPRA or where else do I check?
So if you want to check whether an agent is legit, you need to check with the PPRA. You can call us or email us so that we can provide you with maybe even an FFC number. So that's how you confirm with us. But in the case of a conveyancer, they are then obviously regulated by LPC, which is the Legal Practice Council. So you can also go to their website or call them to ensure that the attorney you are dealing with is truly legit.
Okay, so if I'm hard done by a property agent or an agency and all my monies have gone down the drain, can the PPRA also help me in that regard?
Yes, it depends. So if it was before February 1st, 2022, which were we were regulated by the EA Act, which is the Estate Agency Act, then whether the property practitioner has a valid FFC or not, you could come and claim with the EAB then from the Fidelity Fund. But now under the new dispensation, we are saying you as a consumer or the buyer, you need to make sure that you are transacting with a practitioner with a valid FFC. If that's not the case, you can't claim from us. But if indeed you did transact with a legit property practitioner, you can come with us with proof and claim from the Fidelity Fund. And of course, we will investigate and ensure that what you're telling us is indeed true. And then you can get remedy in that regard.
So basically the first step before buying or selling a house is to check with you if the agent that I'm working with is legit and registered with the PPRA, right?
Absolutely. And that responsibility not only lies with you as a purchaser, that's also for the seller, right?
Yes.
Umthengisi wazendlu need to ensure that the practitioner they're dealing with is legit.
Okay. Now, Baba Mhlabeni, from what you've gathered and experienced over the years, ngikuphi okungcono ukuthenga indlu ngebond noma ukuthenga cash? What are some of the problems? What are some of the pros and the cons of each?
Both is near advantages, and in the sense of good. Now, uthenga cash, the transaction akhona fanele ihambe ngespeed ngoba akho bank involved ukuthi kuthatha ibond kube assessment ku-evaluate umthengi unemali so the cash once you trust account and if the seller enganazingxaki kumasipala enganazingxaki no-SARS indaba ze-quality tax or i-transfer duty. So that transaction should take normally between 3 to 6 weeks. It's quick, imali sekhona. So all we do is to, especially if the property are in a bond over it. So it has little up. So all you do, apply for rates and taxes kumasipala, and if they are quick, you get them within a week to 2 weeks, except the job, sometimes come delays. And then it could transfer duty from SARS, you get it within a week or 3 to 5 days, because CNs are online. Okay. So that transaction can move fast. Within 4 weeks, the change of ownership can happen.
The new owner's name.
Yes.
Okay.
But when there's a bond, remember now the bank is involved, whereby it finances the buyer. So a bank must evaluate it, a buyer would now we afford the bond, affordability issues. Once you approve, really, it's now a question whether niggas a 100% bond, 80% bond, 90% bond. And if it's 100% bond, then the bank also have to appoint conveyancers Zabo to register the bond on the property. So it becomes two parties now, two lawyers, two sets of lawyers working together to and from. So that transaction got 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if kuna problems is the rates and taxes, same now tengisayo andina mali the masipala no say 30,000.
Yes.
For area rates, and now 30,000 bakuthen. So that will hold the transaction, because irresponsibility yam as a seller ukuthi ndiyenza sure ukuthi le ndlu nxa idlulela kuwe umthengi ibalance kwamasipala is 0 and ibalance ku-SARS is 0. So when fanele uqala phansi uqala isikweletu
angeke bese sideducta ke kule selling price.
Remember, when there's a bond, ibhanki ayivumi ukuthi ibond ibe loaded ngama costs, because now ufaka i-transfer costs or let me say firstly, if there's a bond is only available after registration. So the transaction must first be registered because money access to the bond. So it's not going to help as because not a transaction.
Okay.
Yes, but sometimes if a bond is loaded, then you are able to get the advance financing, or you can get the bridging finance on behalf of the buyer if kuzobakho imali eninzi ezashekela umuntu othengisayo. So then you can always assist him with money bridging finance from the bridging finance companies. Bamboleka imali, and then on registration uyayibuyisa wena seconveyancer. Yes.
All right, asishiye lapho isaqhubela inkulumo yethu mva kweli khefu. For now, let's take another ad break. We'll be right back. Leli Yilungelo Lakho. Don't go away. Welcome back, sanamukela futhi ke bekunene ke ehlelweni lakho Yilungelo Lakho. Khumbula ke ukuthi incingo tethu setivuliwe ukuthi nabe ungaba ingcenye yethu namhla sishaya lapha e-studio ku 011 714 0690 noma ke 011 714 0670. You can also email your thoughts to consumer@sabc.co.za or interact with us via on our Facebook and Twitter pages. We got our first caller, Sinampo lapha ePitoli. Sakumule ehlelweni sawubona.
Good afternoon, Mpho and Simphiwe and the viewers.
Welcome to the show. What's on your mind, ma'am?
Okay, I bought a house while my younger brother was still alive. Like we co-owned the house because he was helping me with his pay slip. So after that, he passed on. But I have all the payments because I was the one responsible.
In whose name was the house registered?
Sorry?
In whose name was the house registered?
Both our names.
Both your names, okay?
Yes, but I have all the payments receipt that I was making the payment. So I was the one making the payments.
Was it bonded or you bought it cash?
No, like I was paying installment, but now I finished paying it.
Okay.
So is it possible that I can sell it? Because now there's a child involved. When I go to the lawyers, they tell me like I have to go to masters or something like that. So is it possible that I can sell it and then get my money without like involving the child? I don't know if I'm clear.
Okay, our experts are in studio. They've been listening to you, and I'm going to ask them to just share their thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is possible that the house can be sold.
Okay.
Because the half share of the house is owned by her, the other half share owned by the late brother.
Yes.
So the late brother, what they must do, appoint the executor to administer the estate of the late brother. So the executor will then have to make a decision of whether is it in the best interest of the minor to sell the house or not. Because if and then they both agree, and then she gets a 50% share proceeds, and then Umtana will get the 50% on as the succeeding child of the late brother.
Right.
So it can be done. It has been done before.
So
but because it is not the master, the child, the master of the High Court must be involved. Therefore, it's a deceased estate of the half share. The executor, because his brother, she can also be appointed as the executor. She can go to the master, Bama assist, appointed after money letter of executorship, and then after money permission from the master by endorsing the power of attorney, that the child can be, because the child will only be the surviving next of kin. So she will be the representative of the master as the executrix, and then I think it's with the permission of the master, of money half share, and then Anika's umtana the half share.
Okay.
It's doable.
Thato, your thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. Well, Mpho did say that the house is bonded, right? So obviously the first people who would need to be paid are the bank, and then the proceeds will be split 50-50 between herself and then the executor.
Right.
Yeah, in fact, she said the bond has been paid up, so she has all the proofs. Indeed. So at least what all she will need from the bank is a consent to cancel the bond. Indeed.
Yeah. All right, Mpho, we certainly hope that you've been assisted. Thank you so much for your call. That was Mpho in Pretoria. Please use the numbers on your screens right now, 011-714-0669, nomage 011-714-0670. Umbuto, you can also share your experiences as to, what really happened when you purchased a house or when you sold your house, either be it a bonded house or a cash transaction. Pick up your calls and call us right now. So ngifuna kwathi ke Thato ukuthi ngichecka kanjani ke ukuthi ke ngubani umnikati walendlu nokuthi ke indlu ibhalwe egameni labani. Like, how do I check or ascertain in whose name the property is?
So if you're working with an attorney, they do what is called a deed search. Even property practitioners can do that as well, which then will show who's the rightful owner of the property registered at the deeds office. So either an attorney or conveyancer can do that, or the property practitioner. The easiest way also would be to ask the property practitioner to show you proof of the title deed of the property. And of course, if it's paid up, then you would, the seller would be in a position or possession of a title deed. Then you know you are dealing with the rightful owner of the property. Right.
Yes, it's true. The basic way, say I did such. So from our offices, or from a deeds office. So it is the quickest way. Sometimes it is office about whom go to also a search quick property if we are just an ordinary person in the street. They would rather, because it costs money to do the search. So if we at this office, you in the search, you will pay. So tonight we got our account, so we can use our account to do the deed search and pay through our account. Or we can use our service providers and do a deed search from your desktop office.
Sure, that's one step that, ubabelapha in our insert omitted. Kwenda kuchecka le deed search ngoba lapho kwavela kwabonakala ukuthi cha le ndlela ayikho egameni lakhe isegameni lalo umuntu. Thank you so much for raising that point. Let's now take our next caller. Sina Perseverance lapha eSoweto. Sakumodo ehleleni sawubona.
Sawubona baba njani?
Siyaphila kunjani mama?
Ngiyaphila. Hey baba, nginenkinga ngathenga indlu eThokoza ngo2015. Ngayithenga extension 2. So kwathola ukuthi ngiyithenga through ama agent.
Wayithenga cash noma wayithenga ngebond?
No, it was not bond, ngayithenga cash.
Okay.
So mangiqeda ukuyithenga lendlu lena kwatholakala ukuthi bangitshela ukuthi inama illegal occupants and already sengibhadele. Bangitshela ukuthi ngihambe ngiyolanda ngiye eHarmon Pole emaloyeni e-different. So mangifika eHarmon Pole bafike bangisayinisa banginika ama title deed ke. I still got my proof of payment, everything. So mase kufanele ngithola indlu yami ngabhadala 20,000 for eviction bazokhipha labantu uyigibela investment. So makumele babakhiphe labantu laba kwatholakala ukuthi sebengitshela ukuthi umphakathi awuvumi ukuthi abantu baphume ezindlini akunamuntu ophumayo akunamuntu ongenayo. Ukuthi ngikhulume no Bradley obeka, I think it was the owner of iReality ama agent wakhona. wathi kena ke kufanele bangene kwi-government bacela ama-subsidy so that abantu bazokwazi ukuthi babakhiphe sithole iy'mali zethu back. Unfortunately till now leyo ndlu leyo angaze ngene kuyo, angingeni kuyo, ngiphethe i-title deed. So someone advised me ukuthi ngiye e-deed office just to check ukuthi i-title deed is not fake. Mangifika e-deed office ngathola ukuthi ayibiza omunye umuntu, ibiza mina, but still angikwazi ukungena kuyo.
Sure.
So njalo.
Okay, Perseverance, thank you so much for that call. That's a spine-chilling incident or experience that we've been through. Thank you so much. Please tune in to SABC 1. Yilungelo Lakho. Our experts will answer your query. Ungayiphendula ithini leyo?
Ingxaki ezenzekala kwi-areas apho kumane ukuthi izindlu zakhona were repossessed by the bank or repossessed because people were defaulting. So then the thing is either on auction or things to other people. And then it hangs with that person inside. Auction is easier. Auctions are clear. You buy it as it is. So there is that condition.
Wait. It hangs on a moon from
Yes, because this person is defaulted. So now what the bank does, they foreclose by attach a little by tengis auction. So and they will not evict you. I was on the keep. I was out to tenga with that. Knowledge and find about. So usually sometimes you will negotiate a discount. But if you then give me a discounted fee and go and kerama costs or go to the evict avant. Because but they can't afford to repay the bond. And they've got nowhere else to go. So that's why they refuse to go.
So auction any potential buyer
it's supposed to, in terms of the Consumer Protection Act, follow disclose all the issues. Follow disclose.
So, can I also enter a deal na the auction deduct to cover all the eviction costs?
Yes, you can enter and then minus any costs that I may incur. Some property practitioners or developers have done that. But when you come into some of the areas, then they come up together, but nobody come to evict you up. So whether we are telling got a local so they come together and by valid strata. But even no sheriff Naganusa today actually about evict. Once she say a hamba bangana foot. So it becomes difficult. So usually in that case, my advice has been to quit line then sell the problem to someone else. If we're not, it's going to take long. The eviction process is not easy.
Okay.
So rather sell it to someone else, that problem.
So Perseverance, our calling Soweto should sell the property.
Sell the problem to someone else.
All right. Thank you so much for that piece of advice. Mugeli, the discussion is getting even more interesting now. So please call us and share your experiences. You can ask questions. Yilungelo Lakho, it's your right. We'll be right back. So ngimola futhi mbukele ukuthi ngaba ingcenye inkulumo namhla ungashaya licingo khona manje ku 0117140669 noma ke 0117140670 ungasithumela futhi ne-email ku consumer@sabc.co.za ungasithola futhi ku Facebook na ku Twitter. Let's take our next caller. Una sinatopi lapha ke eBrakpan. Sakumule ehlelweni sawubona?
Yebo sawubona ba?
Siyaphila kunjani?
Siyaphila mfowethu siyaphila. Ihleli la ngimamele la. Kanti nami ngale inkinga eqedwe kuyo sithi inkinga lapha.
Yeah.
Inendlu lapha eBrakpan. Ngibamile ngoba eBrakpan. Ahamba ngayohlala ekhaya ngiyobheka uma agula. Bangena umunye ubhuti lapha nentombi yakhe bacelelwa ubabazala wakhe. Nafanele baphume akafuni ukuphuma lo mfana. Angazi seminyaka omngaka mhlo 4 years manje akafuni ukuphuma. Manje mina kimi ngifuna iclue ukuthi mhlambe ningicebise ukuthi yini engingakwenza. Ngoba manje noma mama wayethe if uyaphuma ngingasayohlala lapho ngoba vele sesiyatechnisana mina naye. Yabo akafuni ukuphuma ho angazi ukuthi kumele ngenze kanjani.
Okay, Topi, thank you so much for calling. Sabona kushayela. Tinini advocate takuphendvula. Baba Mhlabeni uqala ngawe.
Lena i clear case ye eviction ngoba lo muntu ungenile So nxa fanele aphume akasafuna uphuma. So uba an illegal occupant.
Yes.
Uhlele engekho emthethweni ngoba umnikazi wendlu uyayifuna. So unfortunately kuya ngomthetho wethu fanele afumana ama-lawyer asebenzana ne-evictions and then in the application eviction, but now it's a long process because it's a two-stage application.
Okay.
And one of the challenges is yokuthi umuntu nxa mkhuphayo in terms of the act fanele afumane alternative accommodation suitable alternative accommodation. So usually municipality fanele be involved because globe papers we cite municipality ukuthi be involved bamfunela lo muntu alternative accommodation. Akanga abangafumanelanga alternative accommodation akwazi uphuma ukuya ngomthetho ngoku. So that is a challenge that is facing abanikazi bezindlu lately ukuthi it's difficult to evict illegal occupants. Although the process is there because ungamkhupha today akabuyela tomorrow ungaka move in is key. It's another process qala phansi futhi. It's a new application. So kukho amagqwetha specialize ngazo eviction abagqiba evict asebenza nabo red ends and basebenza ne security companies bamkhupha umuntu bafake security igadi indlu until nobusha.
So yini ama cost eviction sivile ke a previous caller uthi yena wabhadala 20,000 to evict these people.
Yeah, it ranges.
Is it a standard cost?
No,
or
20 is a minimum. 20,000 is a minimum.
Minimum, okay.
It's a minimum.
Oh, it could be more.
Yes, because remember it notice of motion and then in the application once you grant your application then you summons. So it's a two-stage process. Notice of motion for a court to get the permission to bring your application to evict.
Okay.
To issue summons to evict. Once the court gets the application, granted, so that person can oppose you. I drag and then once you've made order, then you must issue summons and go to the sheriff to serve summons, go to the long process as a court, and then of many court order, evictor. So and then to get him out is another process. Because nobody says sheriff. Unless the sheriff akwazi umkhupha successfully ambeke strateni achinchi locks fake butler says you can succeed.
Oh, okay. Okay. What's your thoughts on that, Thato?
Sure, Simphiwe, I've had clients in the past because I am a practitioner as well. Before my appointment as an acting CEO of the PPRA, it could go in the hundreds of thousands, 120,000 in some instance. So, but I wanted to ask from Thato Mhlabeni, could we then say, I'm going to evict you, but with costs? Then the repayment lies with the buyer.
Yes, good
Is
question.
that a possibility?
You can say that. Remember, sometimes evictayo agasebenzi.
Yes.
So your cost will be worth nothing because we've got sitting with costs that you can execute. So what is it that you're going to take to recover?
For now, right? Because situations of people change. You know what I mean? I always say the law, umlao, awuboli.
Yeah, it's a ball, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the law is the arm of the law is long.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't have a job now, but in the future, surely their circumstances will change, and then that buyer can still recoup their funds, even though it's not immediate, but in the long future, yes.
Off camera, we're just discussing, some of the options to explore, and you did mention that one of them is to insist on the condition of sale, that the condition of sale should stipulate that if I want to move in as a new buyer or the new owner of the property, I should move into an empty house whenever I've been handed over the keys. And if that doesn't happen, then I have the right to reverse that sale. Eh? Just take us through that.
Yeah, absolutely. So an offer to purchase is an offer to purchase, but you don't have to sign it as is, right? There is a section there that has special conditions. So this is where, as a purchaser, you can write your wishes or what you'd like to see. And we're discussing earlier that saying you would like vacant occupations, occupation on the registration of the property, you can absolutely do that. Just so that you can, it's a means of protecting yourself so that you are not buying food stewards with occupants, which I think is very unfair, especially for first-time home buyers.
Yes, yes. Okay, then, but Mhlabeni, when it comes to conveyancer costs, do I pay the cost before or after the sale, before or after registration, and how do you guys determine the cost, the conveyancer cost?
Okay. Normally, the cost of the conveyancers, you must pay them before Singaya its official lodge.
Okay.
We do the work, consult an hour, we prepare the documents, we draft all the documents, you come and sign. Once we sign the transfer documents or the bond documents, it means now we have done the job. So pay us before we can lodge.
Okay.
That is the standard.
Okay, without getting to the specifics, le mali yebameli, is it a standard fee? Noma ke yimali lay based on the value of the property?
It is based on the value of the property,
Okay.
but there's a recommended tariff, recommended Legal Practice Council.
Do you guys determine your own costs, or is it just regulated by the PPRA perhaps?
No, the Legal Practice Council.
Or the Legal Practice Council, okay.
Yeah, in the past it was the Law Society, but now it's the Legal Practice Council. What they do, they have a recommended tariff. It used to be like, a rule of law kind of in the past, but the Competition Commission made a ruling during those times, the Law Society, you cannot have a fixed tariff for or one size fits all for all practitioners.
Right.
Especially if somebody is 3 years with 3 years experience, I charge the same fees as 15 years experience.
Okay.
But that
so
we
about 10%, 20%, 12%, 15%?
No, we're not using percentages. Yeah, they use they will say if the value of the property is, let's say, 100,000.
Yes.
The recommended fee, let's say, is 3,000. So there is a tariff, but it's called a recommended. So it's not binding. I'm not forced to use it. It guides you. It's a guiding tool. Yeah.
All right. Asishiye lapho ke. Let's now take another commercial break. We'll be right back. Yilungelo Lakho, ungasanyakata. Welcome back to our final segment. Satkubeka futhi nenzaba yethu namhla ke ukuthi ke nangabe udikhanza ushayele ke esakeni ngenzaba ukuthi ke uthenge indlu noma ke umhlaba cash, yini kumele uthi kwende, yini ke malungelo akho. Siyathi ke ukuthi ke labanye abantu banqonota ubhadala cash to avoid all these unnecessary processes. Kepha ke kunetinhloko takhona, kunema headaches akhona ke when it comes to that. Now Baba Mhlabeni, just before we wrap the show, I want us to talk about, the step-by-step processes when buying a property cash nange bond. Asicale nga cash ke ukuthi ke yini kumele uthi what are some of the costs? Ngoba ke khona lo shayile lapha ukhuluma ngama eviction costs, kunama transfer costs, kunama bond costs. Azosichazela ukuthi yini kumele uthi ngikubhadale.
Okay. I think the first thing fanele uyenze nxa uthenga indlu ne. Fanele ninqokole and agree on the price.
Yes.
And agree ngendlu yokuthi dithenga le ndlu, uyazi indlu oyithengayo. Uyazi ukuthi ithenga ngaphi. And once nivumelene ngomlomo, Section 2 of the Alienation of Land Act, 80, that agreement, esivumelwano esifana isibhale phansi. Must write it down. Ni sign no 2. Because kwi-property related, ngawuthengisa izindlu, akho into yokuthi sivumelene ngomlomo. Fanele zonke in paper, i-parties zisayine ukuthi sivumelene ngalokhu and ngale date. So it must be in writing. That's what the law says.
Okay.
And yonke enye after that, fanele nayo ibe in writing. So, and then nokuthi nizobhadala njani fanele kwisivumelwano sakho esini no2. So nxa ungumthengi, i-advice yami ukuthi ungakulinga ukhuphe i-cash unikeze umuntu othengayo. Noba angaxelela ngengxaki zakhe ukuthi ufuna ulungisa this, ufuna ufaka istovu, indlu iyalika, ufuna ulungisa indlu ngeyakhe makayilungise. Fanele idlule kuwe say right according to the law. But afanelanga wena uyilungise umlungisele indlu. What
if the seller uyithengisa footstools njengoba injalo?
I-footstools ayisasebenzi. Because ukuya ngomthetho unyanzelekile ukuthi xa uyaziyo ukuthi le ndlu iyavuza, umxelele umuntu othenga ukuthi uyazi ukuthi uthenga le ndlu evuzayo. If une-problems ezokuthi mhlawumbe ngaphandle kunemingxunya apho kuwela khona, fanele usixelele uxele umuntu othenga yazi into ayithengayo.
Okay.
Yeah, if I disclose in terms of the Consumer Protection Act, unazo i-rights zokuthi after ayithengile le ndlu xa ka discover ukuthi le ndlu iyavuza, abuyele kuwe athi ndoda ngithengisele ihobohobo indlu evuzayo. So therefore ilungisa. So i-buyer ina 6 months to can enforce that right yokuthi athenge indlu right or cancel a transaction.
Okay.
Especially
even after seka move in.
Yeah, especially I take it through
and even agent. After the property has been registered.
Yes, especially after I take it through estate agent, because estate agents are regarded as i-business yabo ukuthengisa izinto. Therefore,
Okay.
they are rendering a service to the consumer. Therefore, they are covered by the Consumer Protection Act.
Okay.
So you are able to say, agent umthengisi ukuthi uphenda lo muntu othengisayo dibene nawe andibana naye uthengisayo le ndlu uthengisile yona ani-disclose ukuthi iyanetha nokuthi i-windows valeka kakuhle umbane nawo sebenze kakuhle. Therefore, ndifuna uthenga indlu ekwi-good condition.
Okay, we are out of time, unfortunately, but Thato, your final thoughts as we wrap the show?
I just wanted to say, now with an offer to purchase, you must also request a disclosure form, a mandatory disclosure form. On that form, the seller must say, include liquor, I've got dam proof, I've got cracks. So the buyer is informed and still makes a conscious decision to make that, to sign on the dotted line. Okay. So it's now a requirement under the new legislature that we do produce, the practitioners do produce these forms together with the offer to purchase.
Okay, so to have to register, as a new owner, to have to register with the municipality, like who facilitates the process?
Yes, what we into siyenzayo as i-conveyancers, once the property registered, siza yenza incwadi ezaya ngayo kumasipala that says on this date the property was registered under you, the new buyer. So uzathatha incwadi yovula i-account ku-municipality ngayo. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Thato and Bangiso Mhlabeni.
Thank you.
Great chatting to you. Bukele kwanyalo, sasifike emaphethelweni ehlelo lethu namhla. Ngithi-ke angibonge ngithi ivakashi lethu namhla ngesikhathi sabo. Ngithandaza ukubuka kanye nani babukele emakhaya ngekuba nathi kuze kube ngimanje. Sihlangane futhi ngesikhathi lesitako lapho-ke sitabe silethela-ke lenye indzaba letawuthenza wena njengemthengi kanye-ke nemalungelo akho. Ngithi ngingiSimphiwe Ncongwane. Thank you so much for joining us. Khumbula ukuthi lihlelo liyatfolakala futhi ku-SABC Plus naku-YouTube. From me, Simphiwe Ncongwane, and the rest of the team, sizinhlale kahle. Do have a great week ahead. Cheers.
Yilungelo Lakho.